All right, Corey, we have a viewer question that says, my ex is reaching out, and after setting up a dinner date at my place, we only end up cuddling. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, as I discuss in 3% Man, the goal is when you get back together at dinner, you should also be looking at 7 principles to get an X back. So, what you're typically, the idea is that you're working to create an opportunity for sex to happen. And the reason why you want her coming to your place, especially if you got friend zoned or she dumped you and you want another chance with her, is that you want her to come to your territory, your home. Because if she wants you to meet for coffee or lunch, these are typically platonic things, and oftentimes women will kind of start to come back if things are going sideways with the new guy that they're dating, and so they want to try to keep you in friend zone, and so they have you doing friend-like things. And so the idea is that you politely decline any of those invitations other than her coming to your place to make dinner together, because if you were dating and you were already intimate with one another, then she's going to have no problem coming over for dinner. It also sets the tone. If you're going over to a guy's house in the evening that you've already had sex with and you're making dinner together, it's pretty obvious that at some point there's going to be some nakedness happen. It's implied. And so women that are trying to keep a guy friend zone will try to do something platonic like coffee or lunch or something like that. And so it basically is like a shit or get off the pot type of thing. In other words, I'll give her another chance because most guys are like, well, I hope I get another chance with her. But no, she needs to earn another chance with them, not the other way around, because she wrecked it. She ended the relationship. She took it from romantic to platonic. And so therefore, you'll give her another opportunity to get another chance with you. But the only thing you're going to be willing to do is to make dinner in the evening at your place so you can hang out, have fun, and hook up. And so the idea is when she comes over, you focus on having fun, getting her to do 80, 90% of the talking. You're not talking about repairing the relationship or getting back together, just hanging out and having a good time, just like you did on a first date, and get her to talk more because when a woman feels heard and understood, legs open. And when she doesn't, the legs close. And so by her doing most of the talking, she feels like you understand where she's coming from. She may bring up stuff that happened in the past for the relationship or whatever, but the key is to have fun. It's hang out, have fun, and hook up, not hang out, let's have some drama, let's get mad at each other because of the breakup or what didn't work out before. It's no, you want to be unperturbed, you don't want to get butthurt. You're just there to have a good time. And at some point in the evening, and what's nice about making dinner together is that you're both working on making dinner. And what happens is that physical interplay, the teasing, it makes it easier for her to punch you playful in the arm when you're teasing her. You can playfully spank her in the butt when she says something a little cheeky or whatever. Or you're stirring the sauce, and then women typically, as they start feeling more attracted, because you're not trying to touch her or anything, you're just making dinner together. And what happens is women, in order to communicate that touching is okay or is desired, is they start bumping into you, literally physically bumping into you, touching your arm, leaning into you accidentally or standing too close to you. She's playing with her hair typically, and then those are typically the signs where you start making out. But again, you're looking for the signs, and if you ever, there's one thing called the kiss test, which I talk about in 3% Man, is that because a lot of guys are like, when's the right time to kiss her? And so if you're hanging out and you're real close and you're like next to each other, she's bumping into you and you're talking, you can just gently look down at her lips and then her eyes and then her lips and then slowly back up into her eyes. And if she looks at your lips anytime you're doing that, she's thinking about being kissed as well. And then you go for the kiss, you start making out. Kissing leads to heavy petting. Heavy petting leads to wandering hands sliding up and down between underneath the blouse and with the magic 2 fingers, slowly undoing the bra at some point. And then if you ever get stopped or she's like going too fast and she wants you to slow down, you take, the idea is 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And so you encounter some resistance, then you back off, you continue to stir the sauce and the spaghetti sauce or whatever you're making. You continue to joke, you continue to talk. She may even redo her bra strap or put her shirt back on or her blouse back on that you may have finagled off, and then a little while later, the same kind of process repeats itself. You make out a little bit more, maybe she grabs you a little bit more passionately as you're making out, and then you slowly start advancing. Because the whole purpose of seduction is to get closer and closer to a woman until eventually you end up inside of her, but it's a process. And so if the guy like that wrote the question is just hanging out and making dinner together, and then he's like, "Oh, let's watch a movie," and then they go and they sit on the couch and they cuddle. If you're watching the movie, there's kind of there's no communication. It's like going to a movie theater almost, but now it's in your house because you spend all this time apart. Now you want to create the conditions where the two of you interact. As soon as you put a movie on, you're basically cock blocking yourself because you want to continue hanging out and talking, drinking wine or tea or whatever it is that you happen to be drinking, and look for the physical signs that are there. She's ready to be touched, ready to be kissed, and then you slowly move in. And if you encounter resistance, you slowly back off. And a little while later, you just take a run at it. And each time, you get closer and closer. She feels a little more safe and comfortable because at any point, the woman could stop you and say, "Hey, this is going a little too fast." And then you don't get butthurt. You just smile, go back, the James Bond smirk, like, I know what's going to happen later kind of attitude. And then eventually it happens. But just laying on the couch cuddling, they were probably watching a movie. Bad way to go.